Well, it looks like we got some interesting turns of events. Liz Wall actually quit RT. And, this is the one thing I'm saying. I'm not saying everybody in the West is a bunch of saints, right? I know this is not the truth. That there's a lot of evil goes on in the West. But the big difference is the Western system actually has the tools to repair anything. We, the people, got the power. The problem is, I guess when Richard Nixon used to call him the silent majority, I used to call him something else. The do-nothing majority. The lethargic majority. As long as the economy's good, people don't act. That's kind of human nature. Or they go west. I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm gone, So, Liz Wall quit because, this was my whole point. I know I get a lot of knee-jerk reactions like, well, the West does this and they lied about that. Well, you know what? Russia and China elite lie about everything too. The Islamic elite lie about stuff. It's all over the damn globe. Actually, considering the military power of the United States, especially at its zenith, if some of these Islamic radicals had that power, we already would have been nuclear crispy toast. Just keep that in mind, because some of this alternative stuff reminds me of the new wave hippies. Without the long hair, they're all against the USA without any solutions. So actually, the problem is, I'm telling you this again, I'm repeating this again because I think this is too damn important. When you're looking at solutions, it's not a change in the system that's needed. What is needed is a change in, say, corrupt leadership. And, we the people actually have to take active part in our process, in our system, all the time. I mean, you don't have to be a political nitpicker, but what I'm talking about is if you see things wrong, it can be remedied. We got the tools to do this stuff, man. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on. So anyway, I saw a major pullback in oil, and I'm like, I want it to go up, Actually, if I was playing this silver game with, I wish I was the guru that was running all these silver tards, because I would never, ever put a gold coin up to Ben Bernanke or Janet Yellen's face and say, this is money. I'd be like lobbying them to bring the price of silver up. I would not be like knocking the dollar. I'd say, yes, the dollar's great. We want it strong every place else. We just want silver to go up a hell of a lot in dollars. Everything else can go way down. That's cool. That's the way I look at it. Instead these guys got to fight them. They're so stupid. They're stupid. I mean, I'm like, jerks. God, man. And, every time the freaking 8 million, silver bloggers come out and start cheering it on, I already know it's going in for another mini correction. I already know it. I'm ready to kill them, man. I mean, I wish, they drive me nuts, man. They're so stupid. They got they don't even have 1 ounce of shrewdness in their brain. All of them. Even the top ones like Mike Maloney, David Morgan, Ron Paul, all this garbage. I would not be freaking playing this game where, oh, you guys are so... I'd be like, we just want the silver to go up a hell of a lot in U.S. dollars. Houses could be $10,000 and drop from $250,000. I mean, cars could drop down to $9,000. I don't give a damn, Or $3,000, $10. I don't give a shit. That's the way I look at it. What the hell's the matter with these idiots? They got no freaking negotiation. That's the thing. That's why I always like working. I always used to like work. I don't even like working for, I don't work corporate. You could tell. I wouldn't fit in corporate. I always fit in with aggressive entrepreneurs. And when I was working for them, I would have to talk very, very professional to other people and present other images, but like we're in a little inner circle. We talk plain, man. We talk plain. But anyway, so it was cool that Liz Wall quit Russia Today, and I was surprised Abby Martin even made a statement that she condemned Russia for invading Ukraine. I was like, girl, you got some hope, man. You got some hope, because I was really wondering about that one, but at least she freaking made a statement against that crap. And then they offered to send her over to Ukraine to report on a Crimea. I'm like, and she declined, which is like, no kidding, man. I would decline that too. Holy shit. She'd be like a stray bullet would find her or something, you know what I mean? I wouldn't trust that. Anyway, you know, I heard I saw a comment that somebody's talking about what about the takeover of or what was it when takeover when China bought Chase One, which was J.P. Morgan's vaults and stuff like that back October 2013, which was J.P. Morgan's gold vaults. You know, I don't know if that really means anything in itself. You know, I mean, it's like it's a gold vault. I mean, I'm going to tell you this straight up. You know, there's always yo-yos, and I don't know this for a fact, but I just have to think. I think my head, you know, this is why I used to work for people and I liked them and everybody else hated them. Because maybe my head works the same way. So maybe I'm going to give you some inside scoop without actually knowing some kind of inside scoop here. And what I'm saying is, you know how they say there's no gold in Fort Knox? Yeah, I'd say there's no gold in Fort Knox. I think they store nerve agent over there or something like that, you know? I don't think they store gold there. They used to store gold there. Does that mean there's no gold that the United States has? Hell no. The United States got loads of gold. I don't know this for a fact. You know, I know they had it on One World Trade Center. You know, it blew up and they got gold out. There's not that much in New York Federal Reserve vaults and stuff. You know where I think they would have gold? If I was doing this and I was playing this game, I'd have it 5 miles underground. That's where I would have it. Nobody can get at it, period. That's where I suspect it would be. You know, and nobody's going to audit that shit. You don't even know where it is. The powers, the real powers, you know, that's why I say the Rothschilds are just like errand boys for the real powers. You know what I mean? You know, I put a video out on the Rothschilds. It was a quick video, and I said, you know, we ought to replace our money with a hemp-based currency. I threw my own twist in there. And I was like, that was my most popular video. But I'm thinking, wow, every time you freaking put Rothschild out there, people are like, the Rothschild. I think they are actually the errand boys for the real power. They ain't really the real power. It ain't the Pope either, you know? Okay. And I think it actually is some military elements, too, that are connected to big families. I don't really know who the hell it is, but I know there's some names I seen in business that cropped up that were like, loads and loads and loads of freaking money, cash, coming up with €1 billion cash, and you're not even on the Forbes list. I suspect I don't even know what the hell's out there. You know, I just know that whatever we see is not the real power. That's why all this alternative media is about the giddy minds. But sticking on the ball, your eye on the ball, the thing is, you know, if the financial system's screwed up and you want to have, you know, change in Wall Street, basically you want to have change in Wall Street where the casino isn't rigged against you, and you want to go back to sound money, we got the tools to fix that. Thing is, people got to wake up and elect the representatives to fix it. They got the power, they don't use it. They don't use it. But like I said, I think the U.S. actually, the real powers that be in the United States, the real elite, they're not on the run. I think if they got loads of gold, it's 5 miles down in deep underground military facilities. It's well protected from anything, and it's well out of the hands of anybody. You know, Congress are just making speech. I don't think they got that kind of power, man. I think there's other shit going on. The problem is where we need to actually stop that is to defund them. There's a lot of black budgets in the military, in the Pentagon, and that's what allows this to happen. Somebody's got to pay these clowns to build all that shit, you know? See, that's the power of the purse. See, but, you know, the problem is people got to really, really, really back up the Congress hard and stop the funding to this type of stuff, then investigate it, then you find out what's going on. But I think the powers that be, the Western elite, aren't stupid. You know, matter of fact, when we saw that stuff about the... I'm going to lead up to some medical thing after this as a tidbit because I got something from China, you know, just to keep, you know... I'll probably have to put a... I don't want to make this too long. I wind up going really long in these videos, but you know, we saw that thing where the tungsten gold was found in some years ago in the Chinese vaults. It came from Hong Kong. It was from the London Exchange and all this type of stuff. It was stamped, and it probably came out during a time when Rubin, the Secretary of Treasury, was under the Clinton administration and traced it back to that time, I think it was. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, you know, the immediate assumption was with the alternative media was that all the gold is fake that we have. No, no, no. If you got, you know, I'm not, I don't want to sound like a con artist here, but, you know, if I was going to have gold and I wanted to put gold-plated bars out there, would I keep the gold-plated bars, or would I keep the real stuff and sell the gold-plated bars to the other guy? I think that's what happened. In other words, I think the Western elite have the real stuff, and the other guys that are stuck with the gold-plated bars aren't saying a damn thing. It could be Russia, it could be China, I don't know. It could be India, I don't know. I think our guys kept the stuff on the West. They're not stupid crooks. They're smart crooks. Okay? Just remember that. I mean, you know, the alternative media thinks, you know, oh, that means we don't have any gold. Oh, bullshit. You know, I also have some video. I should point to, if I could find those links, I showed where there was like loads and loads of gold in the United States, in California. We got so much gold even in Alaska, if they went and started mining it, it would back up the whole U.S. debt, even at current prices. Yeah, yeah, really. So, I mean, it's, I don't know. These guys are ludicrous. They're playing a game with this debt because they're looking to restructure everything for a global financial reserve currency in a global financial system. That's what they're doing. They're playing, you know, they're not stupid. They're doing this on purpose. So, like, the way to save your ass is to keep real assets. You know, the beauty of silver over gold, like it's a repeat, but, you know, gold, they can make you illegal. The problem is with silver, they really can't make it illegal because it's widely industrial used. Now, I like palladium better than anything, except the big drawback is it's not that commonly known. But palladium is used in all these catalytic converters. They're also pushing for more and more. It's like 90-something. It's 60-something% used in cars, but between industrial use and jewelry use, it's like, I think it's over 95%. And industrial use, I think, is like close to 90%. I think it's over 90% or close to 90% alone. So, I mean, they really can't make that illegal. It's like saying your car catalytic converter is illegal. If you wanted to store palladium as wealth, you could just pile up a bunch of used catalytic converters. You know what you do? Say you can't do that? Get the hell out of here. It ain't going to happen, man. They can do that with gold, though, because gold sits in vaults. But silver pretty much is an industrial animal, too. But also got to point out Common Sense 101. Silver has always been something, the devil's known as the devil's metal because nobody can really predict the price that well. What I think, though, and now you can use it as a barometer of the alternative people, if it goes way to hell up this year, say it really busts through 50, and you know, that sounds crazy from where it's starting right now, but you got to remember, like when silver got legs, when it was like $17, $18 or $16, it only took about 6 months to go to 47. It was like nothing. It was started like in September 2010, and, well, 7 months. By the end of April, it was $47, $48. That's all it took. That's all it took. So when it gets legs, but you know what I say is, it could go even farther, more exponential. And you got to remember, even in 1979, what happened? Most of the gains happened all in that last year, but really, at the very end of the year is when it went up like a rocket. But, you know, no matter how high it goes, these guys are going to say it's going to come down. I don't think the dollar's going away, so I say that if the silver gets to real serious legs and breaks through 50 this year, it's going to come down below 50, not to 20. That's what I've been saying. All right. Now I want to get onto this thing, because I like China, man. China's got some cool shit. I mean, I don't want to knock China, right? I'm not knocking China. I'm knocking the Chinese Communist puppet elite installed in cahoots with our Western jackasses. But I got this thing from China. It's called a Spooky Tube Rifle Machine, man. And I'm going to start using it. I just got it about an hour ago. So I'm going to probably have a video on this or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm actually installing the program right now. And I'm pretty familiar with rifle machines. It's upside down. And, rifle machines and stuff like that. So I just want to point this out on this video right here because this thing was only like a couple $100, and it arrived pretty quick. I ordered it a few weeks ago. It came all the way from China. How's that, man? How's that? I mean, I'm telling you about silver here, but I figured I'd throw that in there because, instead of the same old stuff. That's a cool device, I think. I like that thing because it does carrier waves, it does fuzzy logic, it does all kinds of, you can customize the waves. Actually, I thought a cheap rifle machine with waves that frequency waves that you can actually customize was like, I don't know, a good $1,500. I thought that was cheap. That was just like a couple $100. Runs with your computer. Like, wow, cool, man. So anyway, that'll be an update for something a little bit down the road here, maybe even today. But I just want to point out there's a lot of cool ideas out there that humanity has, and if you let the elite run the show, they keep things down. In other words, the aggregate of all humanity, with all people putting their ideas out together, there's no elitist, no matter how smart they are, is smarter than the whole aggregate of all humanity. In other words, all these inventions that came out and everything in the last 100 years, it's all from regular entrepreneurs. So if they stifle business by trying to keep control of everything and stamping out competition, the elite actually shoot themselves in the foot all the time. If you look back even like 150 years ago to, say, the 1860 something, whatever it is, today, even like any average person lives better than any rich person does back then, in a real sense, in health-wise, if they want to. I mean, the type of communications and transportation, heating, air conditioning, water, electronic devices, conveniences, access to anything you want on the internet if you want to buy or purchase. It was unimaginable even the wealthiest person back in 1865, right? That was the day of the robber barons, basically the late 1800s. If those clowns actually kept society at a standstill, they would never progressed either. So actually, it's in the elite's interest to keep the wheels of progress going for everybody across the board. So when they play this game where they got to be on top and they want to stamp out competition and they want to have a monopolistic type of capitalistic system, capitalism's not bad when you have capitalism's great when you have a bunch of entrepreneurs allowed to do their own thing. It's when you have a monopolistic type capitalist system that basically is the same damn stuff as communism. Basically, you only got a few people running the show. And what they do is actually to screw it up for themselves. I even look at George Herbert Walker Bush. The guy's in a wheelchair, right? I'm putting out stuff about the Lukovsky coil, right? He goes down to Tampa. He gets all this freaking great medical treatment for the most expensive people. He's still in a wheelchair. I wonder if he got a Lukovsky coil and he was using that 4 hours a day, like the real one, he'd be jumping out of the wheelchair feeling great. I don't think the guy's a really nice guy, but I'm just saying, it's just the idea. It's the whole thing I'm putting out here. These guys are, they're surrounded by a bunch of freaking, bullshit with the blinders on. Surrounded by yes men. And that definitely includes Vladimir Putin. He's another guy totally surrounded by yes men. I know why this guy's fairly popular in the West is because he does not want to bow down to all this political correctness and like if you're going to allow this to happen and family values and morals and all this stuff like that. He's all for that, at least on the surface, and that's really why the Russians support him too. He's like, this freaking effeminate male shit they got today is a bunch of crap. The guy is like, he's a man. He acts like a man. He's not afraid to act like a man. That's all there is to it. And that's another reason he's popular because, all these thousands of years of actual real genetic program in the male side of the species is not going to go away despite all this bullshit political correctness they try to throw at people. You know what I mean? That's why people kind of like Vladimir Putin. But he ain't a good guy, man. I'm just telling you that. He ain't doing you no favor. Any true male ought to stick on their freaking own 2 feet and figure the situation out. Silver's a good damn safety. The debt's going up more and more. Russia's not going to buy our debt. Who gives a shit? I'd worry if Russia says they're going to try to invade Alaska like Zhirinovsky says. He says that belongs to us. That's what Zhirinovsky says. So, they got a lot of extremists there. And that guy even talked about, I'm going to actually point a link on the end of this video where he talked about destroying 120 million people at one time. Vladimir Zhirinovsky, head of the Durma, colonel in the Russian army, and a very big, popular, outspoken critic of the West that's popular elected in Russia. I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to leave you with this thought. Lindsey Williams says China's the big one. Now, China's the big one for culture, medicine, healing, herbs, art, construction methods. They even brought spaghetti over to Italy. They did Marco Polo. That's where noodles came from, it's spaghetti. What the big one is? It's Russia. Russia's, and it's not the Russian people, it's the Russian elite. The big one is Russia. Not that the Russian people are cool. The Russian elite, those are the ones you're going to have to watch out for. I know it. I'm 110% sure. So anyway, I'm glad Liz Wall resigned. And I'm glad Abby Martin made a little statement at least. That's a step in the right direction. She might actually be a truther one of these days. She's learning.